What's shaking YouTube nights? Man, I haven't said that in a while. You know what? We're so late. There's no way we can run that video, right?
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Welcome everybody. How you doing? I'm JB. It's Thursday. It's the Shakers List, otherwise known as the Ofer List. But maybe not tonight, actually. You might actually have one of these books, because I actually have one of these books, so it can happen. But before we get started, I want to go around the panel real quick, get a quick intro. We've got none other than Chris, the Yo-Yo Man.
Hey, it's Thursday. You guys know what that means. It is time to talk about those shakers that are happening in the comic book industry. I'm so glad to be here with my good friends Marty and JB and Leia in the background there in Marty's room. Can't wait to hear that puppet snoring.
And Marty, say what's good to the people.
Hey, happy Thursday. Greetings and salutations, geeks and geekettes and YouTubeites, and thank you for joining guys out in the chat. We really appreciate you guys, as always. Huge shout out to Rudy out there, our wrench. Also, JD also is in the crowd. We got Liger Style out there. We got all the huge and everybody. If I forgot your name, I always see you guys on the chat over here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get ready. Let's get rocking with the show, man.
All right, well, let's get into, it's been a while since I've hosted, so you're going to give me a second to get back into the groove. If you have not already, make sure you download your bingo card, because we have already started more than 5 minutes late, so you get that free spot. And as
it's
always,
a freebie.
Before we get started, I just want to mention that, this list comes from our friends at Cover Price, and this list focuses on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shakers list. Now, this list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. At number 1, by the way, this list is alphabetical. Chris, what do we got at Shaker number 1?
So for Shaker number 1, we have the image you see on the screen right now. Boom. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 1, the Mark Buckingham cover. This is the Marvel Insider Thank You variant, and it's a recent release. Now, back in 2016, Marvel launched a loyalty rewards program known as the Marvel Insider. This program sought to reward fans for all kinds of Marvel-related purchases. In February of this year, the company announced that it would be shutting down the program and sent out an email to all of its insiders thanking for years of support. As an additional thank you to all the folks for their loyalty and their money over the years, Marvel also sent out an invitation to buy an extremely limited variant of Amazing Spider-Man number 1. This variant featured the wonderful art of Mark Buchanan, started arriving at insiders' doorsteps a few weeks ago, and is already shaking up the aftermarket. This week, a copy of this book hit a staggering $700 for a raw dog Nearman copy. While this is the only documented sale, a raw book that is just now getting into the hands of the public and hitting such a large figure in the aftermarket is truly amazing. Additionally, suppose you received one of the potential 9.8 conditions. In that case, it may be worth looking at getting it graded, as these books were sent out in non-reinforced envelopes. Marvel, what are you thinking? Leaving many susceptible to damage. While the overall print run of the book could not be found at the time of the writing of this read, the clearly high scarcity of this book will make it a high demand item for collectors, especially longtime insiders who have missed out on the luck of the draw. Okay, so this is interesting. Insiders is shutting down. They sent out an invitation to not get this for free, but to buy it. So, hey, you have an opportunity to give us money for one last time, and we're going to ship it to you in a
padded envelope.
That's kind of, yeah, man. What a dick move, isn't it?
Marvel can't even go for a Gemini mailer. What's up with that? I mean, come on.
There's a couple of things. One, I mean, it's not that great. $700. You got to be kidding me. Is this because since they mailed this out in basically a paper bag that getting a near mint copy is near impossible? Maybe. No.
This is a raw near mint. It could be. The read says that a lot came damaged, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, I think we're kind of guessing that most of them are going to be damaged based on the fact that it was just thrown into a manila like your taxi.
Well, you know what? That brings up the question, what's the absolute worst packaging you've ever received on a comic book? I'd love to hear your comments below, especially if you're watching on the Rewind. I'm going to share mine. I ordered a set of early Silver Age X-Men books, and it came in a cereal box.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually sorry about that, JB. I didn't. I should have reinforced that a little bit better for you.
Yeah. So, what about you? Give me your the worst packaging you've ever received in a comic book down below.
That's crazy. But what I want to know is if anybody is on the Rewind or in the chat and they know what the original asking price for this was. I would very much like to know what was you're invited to give us money. What was that dollar amount? So, yeah. So I'm curious.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad, Mike. Now I'm sorry about that. 3 slabs in 1 padded mailer, and all 3 cracked.
That would piss me off too.
Yeah. Amazingly enough, the comic books inside the cereal box were fine.
I mean,
I've actually, box, you can even include this as probably one of the worst shippings, because though the person did an amazing job keeping the book slab safe from damage, I think it was excess. You had bubble wrap, then you had saran wrap, and then you had tape around it, and then in the box it was wrapped in newspaper around bubble wrap. I think that's a little excessive.
You know what's the actual worst is when the person starts by taping bubble wrap to the back of the comic book bag with packing tape.
Yeah,
because that just rips the bag into shreds.
So,
but I can go on and on.
I sell comics in high frequency on my eBay store, and this is what I do. Every book goes out in a Gemini mailer, unless it's more than 4 books, then I put it into a 8x12x4. But I wrap it in bubble wrap. I don't tape the bubble wrap. I fold in the Gemini top and bottom. I don't tape that either. And then I fold the Gemini left to right, and then I tape it on the outside, at least on 3 different places. With reinforcement over the label, just in case the label starts to peel off in a human environment. Never.
Jesus Christ, Chris.
I know you sell comic books on eBay. What is your eBay store name, by the way?
You got. If somebody's really interested, they can go to my Instagram and click on the link tree.
Reach out to the
Dr. Yo-Yo's Emporium of many wonderful things.
There you go. And by the way, this board has got so many cool things, including this.
Oh, do me, Yo-Yo Master. I want you to do me, because you're the yo-yo guy.
I love these new cuts. This is fantastic.
That's the customer service you get on my store.
There you go. We're running late, and we're taking a long time. At number 1, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. the Mark Buckingham Marvel Insider Thank You variant. Marty, what have we got
Man.
at number 2?
I gotta wet my whistle really quick. It took a while getting here, but we're finally on number 2. Black Widow number 1, Tula Latte variant, 1:25 ratio, Marvel 2016. Not all incentive variant covers are created equal. Some 1:10 ratios sell for way more than some 1:100 ratios and vice versa. This incentive cover is one of those hard to find, sought after variants. In order to qualify for this variant, the retailers had to order 25 other covers to qualify for this one movie pulp inspired cover. Tula Latte is the pen name of illustrator Lisa Wood, who specializes in comics, films, and editorial illustration, as well as being the founder and former director of the world-renowned Thought Bubble Festival. She is also well known in the alternative film poster scene, having created several works for some major films. This runs on Black Widow as well as received by fans. Chris Samney and Mark Waid worked together to tell a dynamic and interesting story for Natasha. There are only 23 graded copies of this issue, according to the CGC census, with only 18 coming to at a 9.8. Recently, a 9.8 sold for $110. There we go.
Man, what do you think of this artwork?
I don't like it. It's really not for me, to be honest. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just not my style that I gravitate to, if you will.
Who does it remind you of? Does it remind you of anybody? This kind of reminds me of, with the watercolor, a little bit of Peach. I don't know.
No.
No. You think so? No.
With the hair that's not doing it for me. I think
Not
that
doing it for you.
if her hair was a little bit more together, I think that I would appreciate this cover a lot more. But I like the subtle tones. I do like that.
$110 for a 9.8. There you go, folks. At number 2, we've got Black Widow issue number 1, the Tula Latoy variant, a 1:25, way back in 2016. And what do we got at Shaker number 3, Chris?
Shaker number 3. Well, JB, this is the comic that you're going to have to hit the next time. There you go. This is the comic that you said, what the hell is that? When we were looking at the script earlier.
Come on.
We have Hi Puffy AmiYumi number 1. That title was an American cartoon that ran on Cartoon Network for 3 seasons beginning in 2004. The series featured the adventures of Japanese pop duo Puffy, named after, aka Puffy AmiYumi in America, due to being sued by Sean Puffy Combs, who formed in Japan in the I'm not making that up. That's what it says.
You didn't make that? It's in there.
That is what it says. In the mid 1990s, and made it to the United States in 2000, performing at the South by Southwest Festival. This is some interesting stuff. This led to several of their Japanese albums being re-released in the United States, and they even recorded a theme song to the animated series Teen Titans and SD Gundam Force. The cartoon came to fruition soon after, as musicians appeared in live-action clips at the beginning and ending of each episode. The comic was a 3-issue miniseries based on the cartoon, and as you can imagine, this series is tough to find. Raw near mints sell for around $20, but cover price has not seen a recorded sale since 2023. This last week, a 9.8 sold for a record $160, which was only the second recorded graded sale. Previously, a 9.2 sold for $63 in 2022. Do not sleep on obscure kids' books in high grade, as we've highlighted a few of them over the years, and they've gone for crazy amounts as collectors realize how rare they are and how the nostalgia calls out to them. This is got to be a ghost book. I mean, the cartoon, I had no idea the cartoon was a thing. Okay. Apparently, these are the two who did the Teen Titan Go theme song, which, okay, I appreciate that. But I had no idea that they had their own cartoon, let alone had a comic made from the cartoon. But as with any Cartoon Network related first appearance, buy it, because it's going to pop eventually.
Are you kidding me? I don't know, man. Come on.
Meh. I mean, meh.
No.
Yeah.
I don't. I think if I even saw it today, I would still pass
old
it up.
dudes. Okay, this isn't my superhero comic. Shaking fists at clouds. Okay, listen, guys. This
sounds very nerdy. Is this a nerd thing? It's definitely a nerd. I don't do nerd
No.
things.
It's not nerdy. It's not.
Very good one.
This is where the money is at, though. If you want a good flip, you dig these out of the long boxes. You pay $1 or $2 for them. You buy them at flea markets and garage sales from some teenager who's gone on to college. This is where the money's at. You grade it and you flip it. Come on.
All right. Yeah, well, here you go. We're dropping the knowledge. If you're out there looking for a flip that no one else on the planet is looking for, here it is. Hi Puffy AmiYumi. Am I saying that right? AmiYumi. Issue number 1. Wow. Originally published in 2006 from DC even, right? DC Cartoon Network. This is crazy. Crazy stuff. All right. You know what? We're going to keep it moving. At Shaker number 4, Marty, what do we got?
Bringing you Pinupocalypse number 1, Svetsa Shubina variant, 1 in 25, massive 2025. Svetsa Shubina is a Russian artist who specializes in GGA, which is good girl art. She has worked for companies such as SourcePoint, Massive, Skybound, among others, and much of her art draws heavy influence from artists from the past such as Dan DiCarlo and Bill Wenzel. Her work has gotten the attention of many collectors in the comic community, and much that is because of the book we are focusing on most today, her 1 in 25 variant for Massive's Pinupocalypse number 1. This cover came out of nowhere for most and shot up quickly to nearly $100 raw the week of release. This past week, though, a graded CGC 9.8 copy set a new high for this book when a sale went through for $230. With the popularity of this cover, some of her upcoming covers have also received a lot of pre-order attention from savvy collectors. Her next cover is another 1 in 25 variant for the series, Detective Kaiju, also from the Massive Publishing.
Wow.
Beautiful.
There's actually 2 people in our chat that have this book.
Really?
Again, the best chat on live YouTube right here, folks, on Cover
Interesting.
Prize during the Shaker Show. And if you had JB panders to the audience on your bingo card, check it off. All right. What do you guys think of this?
This is interesting, man. This, I would say, just like the Reed says, man, it kind of went under the radar for most people. And this just came out of nowhere. I mean, this is just released, already fetching a good $230. Just that aside, I mean, this cover is going to be very, very difficult to get a high grade in if you don't get it right away sent in, man. Look at that all red cover. The use of negative space.
I'm going to tell you what my honest opinion. This reminds me of J. Scott Campbell, and this person is not proportionally accurate.
I was just thinking the same.
If this person stood up,
she's
she'd
like
be
8'4".
8'3". I mean, and from her hips to her ankles is probably 6'2". Come on.
I think what you're looking at is depth of view right here, man, because look at her leg is more of a closer look where it's it's a more of a parallel look to her. It makes her legs look a little bit closer,
Do you guys remember the cartoon Aeon Flux?
Yes.
With the weird limb proportions?
Yes.
That's what this
Yep.
is.
There was a movie of that too.
Yeah, but nobody.
Yeah.
Rudy says 3 is good for me.
That's right. Rudy liking the tall girls out there.
So here's something to think about, right? That you mentioned it, JB, the all red cover, the dark red cover. This is going to show the like color transfer rub and dirt and discoloration. I want to know what the back of this is. Is it a white back? Is it a black back? The reason why I ask is the way that comics are shipped. They're not totally secure. They're gonna
rub. It's
a little bit of rub and vibration against each other, and that color is going to transfer from the back page to the cover. So these are probably hard to find in 9.8s, and there's definitely demand for it. A lot of these Pinupocalypses have been getting a lot of attention on the top 10 list, including some from our Lady Laura's Bird City Comics.
There you go. All right. At number 4, we've got Pinupocalypse. I can't even try. The Shubina variant. And we'll do that. 1 in 25. Just came out. What's our 5th shaker on today's list? Marty.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Chris.
Nope. Yeah. I was just going to go with it.
Where are you? Scooby. We got Scooby-Doo Super Spectacular #1 by DC Comics in 2010. This #1 is a little-known comic produced by DC and printed in 2010 as part of an effort to expand to mass-market retail. The title was never released to comic book shops or the general public. Instead, it was printed in the extremely limited quantities as a sample reprint comic designed to showcase the potential for DC's all ages content in big box retailers like Target and Walmart and Kmart back in 2010. Notice the all zeros in the UPC code. That just means that this is a promo. This issue featured reprinted material from the existing Scooby-Doo titles, shares the same cover as Scooby-Doo #104 from 2006. So be careful when you're picking this up. Make sure you got the right one. As a result, physical copies are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. This week, the first ever known copy to hit the aftermarket sold for $615 in a CGC 9.8, which is the only 9.8 on the census, with only one other graded copy on the census at 9.6. Reports indicate that Scooby-Doo Super Spectacular #1 was one of 2, maybe more, sample comics printed by DC for these retailer presentations. However, there is conflicting information about what that second title is. Let's tear off the mask. Oh, it's G. Willikers. It's Dr. Fred from the local nose job clinic. I don't know. I lost the joke. Some sources suggest it might be related to Looney Tunes, DC Super Friends, or even Green Lantern, but none have been definitively confirmed except Scooby-Doo, primarily thanks to its Proof of Life appearance this week. Regardless, this rare promotional comic represents a unique and largely forgotten moment in DC's publishing industry and history and the industry of comics. With so few copies in existence and virtually no public distribution, it is a truly, truly rare comic, unlikely to surface again anytime soon. Wow. Great read, great information by Cover Price. Had no idea this existed. My God, this thing's a ghost.
This is why you watch the show, man. The Cover Price, these guys are this is incredible. All zeros in the barcode, everybody. All zeros in the barcode.
You know, I had this, man. Just for the nostalgia of it, you know?
I think $600 for a 9.8 might be too low. I think that might be too low. I think this should be $1,000.
Wow. There's your
talking
there's
big boy money right there.
Good luck finding one.
No.
All right. At number 5, we've got Scooby-Doo Super Spectacular issue number 1, originally published in 2010 from DC with all zeros in the barcode. Very interesting comic book. You gotta love this. By the way, since we are at the halfway point, we might as well have a quick call to action. If you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, now's your chance. Take a moment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss the next time that this channel goes live. They're going live all the time. We got a Tuesday show top 10. We got a Friday recap with the owners. We've got the Thursday Shaker show. There's always new content on the channel. There was a nice interview the other day with CGC. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that bell. All right. Shaker number 6. Marty, what do we got?
Yes, now we're traveling back in time with some suspense stories. Is that supposed to be suspense stories or just suspense stories? Okay.
Suspense stories.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. Suspense stories. Number 2, EC 1952. The early EC pre-code horror comic book features some of the era's most iconic illustrators and writers. Together, the combination of Wally Wood, cover art, Jack Kamen, interior, and scriptwriter Albert E. Feldstein made some of the most memorable EC comics of all time. The fabulous art and interesting stories, these were 3 combined to create were the perfect recipe for horror comic sales in the 1950s. Interestingly, instead of being a purely horror-based comic, the cover for Shock Suspense Stories number 2 feeds into the Red Scare that gripped the U.S. in the 1950s, fueled by the Cold War and the perception that the Soviet Union were expanding its influence and directly threatening American values. On the cover, we see a mob beating someone they claim to be a dirty red, while in the background, others are telling the mob what they are doing is wrong and to act like Americans. This past week, we saw an incredible record sale of CGC 8.0 reach a $1,500 mark. Just 6 months ago, a CGC 7.0 was purchased for only $700. Nice gains on this interesting EC comic. Wow, I'm talking about some history to this, right? I mean, you're talking
52.
Cold War era, man. Height of the Soviet Union, America, Cold War, Eastern European. There's some history.
Yeah.
I don't come across very many of these 10-cent. I know there's a reprint version of this that I've seen a lot, but in the wild, I just very rarely come across these 10-cent shock suspense stories. And if you see them, they're probably at a con on somebody's back wall for some crazy ass money.
Yeah.
This is the Red Scare, the commie crisis, whatever you want to call it. This was a big deal. I mean, this is what everybody was thinking about. Everybody was, looking crosswise at their neighbor. You had people getting rounded up, and you had Hollywood blacklists going on because a lot of actors were sympathetic to the cause. This was some big stuff.
Yeah.
At number 6, everybody, Shock Suspense Stories issue number 2, originally published in 1952 from EC. What do we got next at Shaker number 7?
Shaker number 7, we have Spawn number 289, the Francisco Matina Fan Expo variant. Spawn has been all over lately, and that's a good thing. He is the king of the aftermarket after all. And here's another example. This book marks the countdown to issue 300, which was obviously a huge deal. Huge deal. It also falls into the trend of later issues of Spawn becoming scarcer as relationship. Oh, no, sorry. God, you're gonna get me with that lingo.
No, go for it.
Right.
As a readership was not exceptional. However, this book came at a good time, and this variant from Francisco Matina landed at the 2018 Fan Expo, limited to 666 copies. It was a book collectors were immediately after, and that trend has continued. This book is ballooned in price immediately after the con before steadily trending downward for a few years, and then it saw a huge resurgence at the beginning of this last year. Raw copies began to jump in price, with near mint copies surging from around $100 to $170 before topping at $200. Recently, a CGC 9.8 copy, which is one of 20 on the census, hit the market at an all-time high for $380. This is a massive jump from the previous high sale of $203 in mid-2022. Spawn can have his ups and downs, but then rare variants like this, they are, this is the bane of Spawn collectors, these rare variants. And they are huge aftermarket movers. They collect large sums of money whenever they change hands. It's incredible to witness, but it's something that has been fairly routine to see for a couple of years now. Once again, rare Spawn book, you better get your wallet out.
This cover
what
is
was the
sick.
controversy around Matina? Was there controversy around Matina?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
I don't know. I don't really follow.
Can the chat refresh my memory? I feel like this guy fell off the planet for a couple of years, and now he's coming back. What was there some controversy around this guy?
Is he the guy who did the AI stuff? He
I don't remember. I feel
AI.
like there's something out there. You know what though? The chat's going to tell us, and the rewind is definitely going to tell us. There it is.
Okay, yeah, chat's
Here's
saying
using
AI.
AI art, really?
Straight up stealing art
Damn.
from another artist.
What?
I don't know. These are all, just not confirmed.
Hearsay?
From the chat here. Hearsay.
Hearsay.
Same with a grain of salt, man. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I think he was caught though for copying art.
You know what? I'm gonna go.
Oh, that's
on and say this is
interesting.
an alleged.
Yeah, Granoff. Dude, Iger's on it.
This happened.
Yeah, man.
I found the bleedingcool.com report on this, and it's very clear. He used AI generator. Yeah.
Wow.
Tracing art.
And
Well,
that's
he's back
and so
now.
interesting. Interesting enough, his cover comes up as a $380 book
Interesting.
to
I
this
think
day.
it's really just the scarcity of this book.
No, all Spawn scarce books, like you mentioned in the read, Chris, and Spawn collectors they're crazy, man. And when there's a book out there that they don't have,
This is this is a sick cover, man. You know, I like it. I really do, personally.
Yeah.
Whether I don't care if he ate it or not. You know, it's a sick cover, man.
all right. At number 7, we've got Spawn issue 289, the countdown to 300, the Francisco Matina Fan Expo variant, originally published in 2018. All right. Shaker number 8. This one's going to be interesting. I never heard of this one before. Who's up? We lost him.
I
Is he
am.
there? Marty's there. There you go.
Yeah. Number 8 is Star Wars comic pack number 22, Adam Hughes, Dark Horse 2007. Star Wars fans are a pretty dedicated bunch. For nearly 50 years, enthusiasts have collected numerous forms of merchandise totaling close to $30 billion. This week, we have an infinitesimal yet intriguing addition to this extensive collection. Adam Hughes, one of the most prominent artists of our modern era, is no stranger to Star Wars covers, dating back to classic Star Wars A New Hope number 2. Hyperspace ahead to 2006, and Star Wars collectibles are already a hot commodity. Convince Hasbro and Dark Horse to produce these comic packs. And close with an expanded universe action figure and reprinted comic. In 2008, issue number 22 hit stores with a 2-pack of Darth Talon first appearance and Cade Skywalker, complete with Adam Hughes variants of Star Wars Legacy number 2. These toys are considered treasures among certain circles, especially those remain unopened. This week, we received an all-time high of $300 for a CGC 9.8 for one of these beloved bad boys. There are only 4 copies of this grade on the census, but therein lies the quandary if you come across a complete version. Break open this rare collectible and cart it off to CGC? Or, wait a minute, that's more of a question. Break open this rare collectible and cart it off to CGC? Is that better? Or keep
That's
it
better.
closed
There you
for its original form? November 12, 2026 will mark the official 50th anniversary of the release of the novelization of the movie titled Star Wars from the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. Wow, dude, a lot of Star Wars stuff coming up, man. I mean, you see it. I had no idea about this, though. This comic pack 22, you know?
So when I was young, I remember, comic packs at like Toys R Us, and a couple other places. I think I still own a Star Wars comic pack, and an unopened
Dude,
one
man,
from
that's awesome.
from back in the day. But this was on Tuesday's top 10 list. There's something going on with the character here. Star Wars fans are rabid. This came in a pack. I mean, that is the question. Do you open it? Chris, do you open the pack?
No,
If you know you got this in there.
no, I don't.
Man,
Chris says no, I don't open
Nope.
it.
man.
So
No, I don't. Also, what time of year is it? Come on, guys. What is Sunday?
May the 4th.
There
Come
you
on,
go.
man.
Fourth, man.
Okay, I mean, come on. They're
And speaking of, may the 4th be with ye all, too.
Right? Star Wars fans are rabid. I'm a Star Wars fan, but I had no idea that they were making comic packs in Adam Hughes variants. There are people out there. You look for that little AH, and
Oh, yeah.
I've never, I never come across this one in the wild. Have you?
no.
I'm going to keep my eye open for this, man. Now that I know about this, I had no idea. This talking about a ghost. I've seen a lot of ghosts tonight, man. I think this is one of them too.
Do you crack the pack? All right, folks. At number, what is that? 8, Star Wars comic pack number 22, Star Wars Legacy issue number 2, the Adam Hughes variant from Dark Horse. Nice to see some Dark Horse on here, right? Some Star Wars
Yeah.
Dark Horse from
Oh man,
2007.
Tuesday and last week was a lot of Dark Horse Star Wars, man.
Here's the chance to get on the board, in my opinion, because I actually have this next book.
Transformers, robots in disguise. We got Transformers number 29 by Marvel Comics in 1987. The Transformers never really went out of style, but their popularity has ebbed and flowed over the last few years. We saw a massive jump during the live-action Transformer years, but the most recent influx of Energon is mostly due to Daniel Warren Johnson's work on the new run of Transformers and the things that they are getting up to at Image. Transformers 1 was released not too long ago to positive fanfare, a movie that really pissed me off. And the Transformers toy line is only getting bigger and better. It is a good time to be a Transformers fan, and some have opted to revisit some of the classics to secure some under-the-radar key books. One of them is this book, the first appearance of the Triple Changers. That's Astro Train, Blitzwing, and Octane, for those of you who play with Mego blocks instead of Lego blocks. You know who you are. These are the scraplets. The Triple Changers are driving this book, as Hasbro has recently released several figures with several more planned. It's bringing a ton of more collectors back to the hobby, and some opt to revisit where that got started. Recently, one fan snagged a CGC 9.8 for a whopping $650. That's a massive jump from the previous high of $77 back in 2020, but a bit of an anomaly. There are currently 36 CGC 9.8s on the census, but the internet is devoid of copies on third-party sale platforms, as well as high-graded raw copies, or high-grade raw copies. This may simply be the case of supply and demand and an opportunistic buyer, or maybe Transformers is seeing another resurgence. Hard to say, but the sale was certainly one that has reset the market.
What do you think? I like it.
Yeah. So
Marty, no? Yes?
Yes, absolutely. Great nostalgia right here. Something that I grew up watching as well. $650. Wow, that's a lot of money, though.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Michael Baker, good point.
So, what do you think, JB? Do you think you say you have a copy? Is it time to sell?
Yeah. No, it's my collection. What are you talking about, man? I'll sell everything. Come on.
Okay.
If you have this,
wasn't applying.
If you have this,
He said if you have it, you sell it.
Yeah.
No, mine's beat to hell. My collection is it's not high grade. I'll tell you that. You know, I when I'm trying to fill the run, I fill the damn run.
Right.
I'm looking for the books in the dollar bins, and when you come across them, it may be missing an ad or a page, or the back page is ripped off, but it don't matter because it's in the collection, and now the box is checked.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hey, I always say, man, better a low grade than a no grade, right?
Yep, low grade is better than no grade.
but
Gotta
yeah,
have a grade to get in the game.
if you got this, sell it while the interest is high, because these aren't key characters, really. It's not your Rodimus Prime, not your Starscream, not your Optimus. I mean, yeah.
Right? You got to complete the collection. That's the whole hunt is about completing.
Yeah.
All right, at number 9, we've got Transformers issue number 29 from 1987. Just outside the Bronze Age. Just missed it by a couple years. All right, final shaker of the night at number 10. This one's obscure. I bet you this is an offer.
I'm going to close it out with Wizard Ashcan number 1, Wizard Entertainment, 1991. Before Wizard magazine became the cornerstone of 90s comic culture, there was Wizard Ashcan number 1, a humble black and white pocket zine measuring just 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. That started it all. In 1991, Wizard creator Gareb Shamus had just moved back home to work at his parents' comic shop in Nanuet, New York. After graduating into a tough job market, customers kept asking what their comics were worth. So he created an 8-page newsletter featuring hot books, news, and release dates. A test run that would evolve into Wizard magazine just months later. Wow. That first ashcan, made by hand and mailed to an early customer, had become a grail for collectors. As Gareb recently shared, this was the first thing I've ever published with the name Wizard on it. I literally made them by hand. How any exists is beyond belief. A raw, very fine copy just hit an all-time high sale of $2,500, cementing its place in comic history. Cover Price co-founder Matt and John have often spoken about their love for Wizard, inspiring the formation of Cover Price and tapping into that same blend of nostalgia, industry-focused content, and a modern, data-powered approach to the comic price guide. But it all started here. in this hard-made piece of comic history. This isn't just a shaker, it's the spark that lit the Wizard legacy. This isn't just a shaker, it's a milestone. Wow.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Very much so. Wow.
$500.
This is incredible. I want it. I love Wizard magazine, Toy Fair Inc.
I want it so bad.
Shut up and take my money.
I do. I want it so bad, and whoever has it can certainly shut up and take my money. Man, I almost have a complete run of Wizard magazine. I don't have this.
Wow.
Are you serious, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Wizard magazine was more important to me than the actual comics, to be honest with you.
Really?
Oh, chills. Literal chills.
I love it.
It got Wizard cemented my love for comics. The articles, the interviews, the price guide, and that's why I love Cover Price. It's the exact same thing, and only it's a website, and it's much better because you get to look at things on a daily basis, not have to wait a month for the next magazine to drop.
Now Wizard is not still publishing, right? They're done.
No, unfortunately, Wizard as a whole is done. It's not. So they shifted from magazines to conventions, and that's where you had WizardCon, right? Just they lost money, and I think they got absorbed by another entity. But yeah, there is no Wizard Comics anymore. There's no Inquest anymore. There's no Toy Fair magazine anymore. It's very unfortunate because these are still good reads to go back and look. I'll pull one out off my shelf every now and then and just appreciate the unique art, the 90s art, and just read those old interviews with Alex Ross and Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane, and good stuff.
It's good.
Tight, yeah.
All right, too much fun.
Next
tonight.
time you host, I'm going to make sure they clear out all those.
Yeah, I have to clear them out because I haven't even used.
Oh man, we got to get.
Hey, they're never going to let me host again. I'll tell you what. All right, folks. Well, that was our top 10 list for not top 10. That was our Shakers list. The Shakers list this week, in alphabetical order. The writers at Cover Price doing it once again. And now let's go over to some live action. How does this work? Do I hit this one first? Do I add him to the stage? Because this is all new stuff for me now. Nope, add to stage.
Comic dreams bought and sold.
All right, so that didn't work. I had something else. I got to take that off first. I think. There we go.
Guys, don't play
Like stripes of gold. Comic dreams bought and sold.
All right, there you go. Now we're
I'm
here.
working on a new one for May. I didn't have it in time for today, but maybe next week it'll be ready.
Nintendo Power. Oh, that's my childhood right there. Nintendo Power.
Yeah, JB, did you see the Nintendo Power #1 I picked up?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait for that to come back as a 1.5.
Who cares? Who cares? You got one.
Gorgeous. Oh, so cool. All right. So this is Cover Price, the modern day Wizard magazine, if you will. And we're going to scroll on down and hit up the Daily Shakers, which updates multiple times a day. And this is where you can see the coolest things selling on eBay, Yahoo auctions, Heritage auctions, you name it, right? So check this out right here. I haven't seen this one before. This is All American Comics, number 61. and it's a CGC no grade right there.
No
That
grade.
little dash right there. First appearance of Solomon Grundy. I didn't know that.
Wow.
That's really cool. Look at that. Old Green Lantern book. And it had the no grade for Lyria. CGC 0.
Literally a 0.0 goes for $2,700. By the way, everybody in the chat, if you have Marty's dog snoring in the background on your bingo card, go ahead and mark that off.
Marked it off like an hour ago when we first started. We got another.
No, you got to go to the Disney one. Come on, what's up with that?
Check this out, man. This is the Walt Disney Comics #1 from 1940, and this is a raw no grade. Look at this, just the cover, right? Just the cover is like a 0.3, $2,000. Absolutely incredible.
That's incredible. And the book next to it, the Catman comics, look at the colors popping off of that. 1945.
That's a 2.5.
A 2.5 went for $2,000.
Jeez.
Graded. I don't think I've ever seen this one on there before. It's not even.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that on the list. $1,600.
Yeah,
20 cents. That's a Marvel frame. Love me some Marvel frame.
Yeah, it's just got to be aging condition right there.
Wow.
Good old House of Mystery from 1970. I think you're going to start seeing. This would be considered a copper, right? The 70, 72. Those
72,
are copper, right?
That's 72, 73.
Okay, so what is 1970?
I know bronze ends it's at 85, right?
I have to look at the list. Let me see if I can dig it up.
All right,
Comic book the tier.
Here we go. G.I. Joe #1.
Got one of those.
9.8 for $1,100.
Is that but that's a newsstand.
It's a newsstand, yeah.
That's a newsstand.
There were more newsstands in 1982 than there were direct editions.
There were Walking Dead #1.
Yeah. So look at this. I have one of these in a direct, but not the newsstand. I think that
check out that Iron Man. That number 47.
Number 47 Iron Man. Yeah.
Such a
that cover is fantastic. Come on, look at that,
man. So classic right there.
So again, you're seeing these high nines, right, for 1970s comics selling for because this is $1,200. Raw sells for, let's see, what's raw near mint, about $250, right? Wow. While we're on this right here, I think that G.I. Joe #1 is critically undervalued.
Really?
Yes. I think that the fact that you can pick up a #1 first appearance of all the key characters, everything, for a decent copy for about $150. I think that G.I. Joe is a staple in Americana, and it only takes one good movie take on that for something to go nuts. And G.I. Joe it's ripe for that. It's absolutely ripe for that.
Yeah, I consider my G.I. Joe 1 a keeper. That's one of those. That's one of the books for keeping. And I also, I feel like G.I. Joe #1's out there. There's a lot of copies out there, man. There's a lot of copies out. I've had a lot of copies go through my hands.
I think I still own like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I still think it's critically undervalued.
Can you slide back up real quick? I wanted you to check that up. That weird terror from 1953. Look at that.
Wow.
Oof.
Who's the artist on that? Look at that.
Wow, sick.
Don Heck.
That is awesome.
Artist is Don Heck. That's crazy. Okay, here this is one that's
Heir to the Empire.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a newsstand copy. Newsstand 1995.
That's right. First appearance of Admiral Thrawn and Mara Jade. This is one of those key books, and even
1995 though. What's the 1995 newsstand is 10%
right,
Wow.
of the distribution.
especially in like
10%.
Transformers #1 is just like GI Joe #1.
Yep, I think so too.
Undervalued.
It's just gonna take somebody doing a good movie for GI Joe, and then it's that
Star Wars 1, another one.
Yep. So
Yep.
this is the Marvel Movie Showcase edition. So this is not Star Wars #1. This is
this is 1982. This is a reprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that edition. $1.25.
Somebody bought this by accident and was very disappointed.
Oh yeah, they were.
Probably so. Oops.
All right, so let's go back up to the top and
Filter.
Let's see, all-time highs.
All-time highs.
All right. So here we got a Demon Days. This is a recent one of 500, selling for almost $500. That's pretty crazy. These old love romance books, I'm telling you, pick them up if you find them. I always pick them up because they got some money in them. A lot of key artists got their start in love romance books.
Wow.
Teen romance, love romance, teen romance confidential, all those.
Those are some big numbers for like Defenders 31. What the hell is important about Defenders 31? Come on, it's not even a key.
It's a 9.8 from 1970.
It's a 9.8 from 1976.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're seeing. You're seeing these 70s books sell for a premium just because of condition. I'm gonna have to go back and see what condition mine's in. I wonder if it's good enough to get graded.
Man, look at that, Mark.
Even look at Marvel Tales. Are you kidding me? Marvel freaking Tales
again.
Wow.
9.8.
I remember those.
Was this the first Rocketeer?
No.
Oh no, second appearance of Gru.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think first Rocketeer is Star Slayer 1 or 2?
2. I think it's 2. Yeah. So they recently announced that Darth Maul is getting his own Disney Plus series. So you're going to see early Darth Maul covers pop up in value. I don't think I've seen this Mark Spears cover.
Wait a minute.
I've never seen
Slide
that.
down. Is that one of the gold foils? It is.
Which one?
I finally sold my Whatnot Daredevil packs last night. I was late to the game. Finally sold them last night, and the big hit was I had out of the 3 packs, one had a gold in there, which I guess is your big hit.
This is pod racing.
Yep.
Oh, look at this! Look at this, Superman Tim. Look at this,
1943.
Oh my God, that's undervalued. I can't believe it only sold for $170. Are you kidding me? This is one of those store exclusives, I think.
Shoot.
Superman Tim.
1943. Shoot, I'd buy that.
Come on.
My goodness. I would have bought that. I would have bought that for $170 if I saw it. Let's see here. It doesn't say what Tim is. I think Tim is a supposed to be like a store, because a lot of like store exclusives were coming out at the time. Weird Archie books, pretty standard. Let's see here. Oh, it's a pretty cool Rogue cover right there.
Nice.
Jaws reference on Nightcrawler. Awesome.
Oh, that's cool. It's a remake of the what do you call it? Movie photo poster.
Yeah.
Jaws poster.
Movie poster homage.
First Harlem Globetrotters.
Spine Tingling Tales, 1976.
Some gold key.
Again, a high grade 70s comic. All right. Oh, this one's interesting.
Brightest
Day. You don't see this one pop up very often. So this is a variant cover. This is a standard cover for this Brightest Day Return of the Black Lanterns.
Yeah.
This is a variant cover. And And it's not like a ratio or anything. It's just a variant cover back in 2010. And
Interesting.
it's look at this. You can get it raw for
For
$3.
$3.
Yep.
Look at that Yoda
All right.
one.
Yeah.
Yoda, glow in the dark Yoda.
Interesting.
All right. So that's that.
All right.
Cams there.
How do I
Hey, so
change this?
JB, we were talking
There we go.
before the show.
Yes.
A little bit of advice to everybody in the chat. If you need comic bags right now, get them while you can.
Go to your comic book store right now if you think you're going to need any comic book boards or bags in the next 6 months.
So
the prices
boards,
are going crazy.
boards are made here in the States, but bags are mostly imported from China. With I think a very few exceptions, but like BCW just increased their prices by about 30 or 40% on bags. So if you guys need bags, this is because of the tariffs, right? If you guys need comic bags, or I'm going to go a little further, hard capsule equipment, probably the cost of grading is going to go up because those capsules are imported. Card sleeves, anything that's like a clear plexiglass or clear hard plastic, they're all going to go up. If you guys remember when all those transport ships got caught in the bay and they wouldn't let them unload because of COVID was first happening, all bags and boards, all bags dried up, all sleeves dried up. You couldn't buy top loaders anymore, right? So you're seeing kind of the same thing right now due to the tariffs. So for you in Canada, David, you may just want to buy more and then drive across the border and ship them to the customers.
You know, I always love to ask questions of both the live chat and the rewind. Bags. I see a comment there. There are some people that just do not like BCW bags.
Yeah.
What do you like and what is worked for you? Tell us in the comments below which bags and boards are you putting your books in that you're tried, true, tested. This is what you think is the good stuff. Because I've tried some stuff that was not good. I've tried a lot of different
Comic
stuff.
Care.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
You
So-
know,
I buy from bulk from Comic Pro line. I can get 1,000 bags and boards for about $100 shipped, right? Which is a pretty good value. For my personal collection, my real gems, I use Comic Fudge, which you can get on Amazon, and those are, in my opinion, the best quality bags and boards out there. But for the bulk stuff that goes in my store, I stick with Comic Pro line.
I'm old school.
I do the same. I still use those too.
The old school full bags with my
Yeah.
light twos.
Same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm
Use
putting
them
the
too.
PC in.
So for the discussion in the chat, Comic Pro line imports their bags, I believe, and they're actually sold out of everything but silver bags right now. That's how bad it is. Yeah, stock up. Tariffs have already happened, or we're already seeing it. So just stock up before inventory runs out.
Excellent advice from Chris. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for everybody that joined in tonight. We really do appreciate you. Marty, what's going on? You want to say goodbye?
Hey,
say goodnight?
Well, yeah, man. It sounded like you were just wrapping it up. So I was just
No,
going with
no.
it, man. You know, just going with it.
I want to give you a chance to go for a little bit. There you go, Marty.
Well, man, thank you as always, JB. Great to have you running the show, man. Have you back. It feels great again, man. Having you here with us, guys. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys joining us, either live or rewind. Please comment. What do you guys think? You know, anything about the show that caught your eye or caught your ear? Man, I saw a few things on here tonight just were ghosts, you know, on the list. Just kind of get the wheels ticking in there. And huge shout out again, JD. shout out to you, brother, for the hookup. I shouted you out on Tuesday as well. Boy JD out there in the crowd, man, he hooked me up with some Bellet, Valeria books, Conan. Right up my alley. Thank you, brother. And guys, be safe out there, and may the comic gods and our spirit of our friend TiVo continue to bless your long boxes. Excelsior.
Party!
Chris, so say goodnight to
Boys,
everybody.
soundboard, take it away.
Take the damn soundboard away. I can't handle the soundboard.
Hey, Lords of the Long Box for life. Man, I love this show. I love being on the show. I love hanging out with you guys. I love talking comics. I like having interesting discussions. Guys, hit me up on Instagram, Dr. Yo-Yo, at Dr. Yo-Yo. You can all my Linktree stuff's on there. If you want to get something from the store for me, if you're on the chat or you're on the rewind and you buy something from my store, let me know that you're a Cover Price watcher, and I will make sure that I put a free gift into your box. Okay, because it's important. Man, this has been such a great read. And JB, thanks for filling in for Lando. Always a pleasure to have you on. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Make sure you're tuning in on Friday for our Comics Covered, which will go live with our co-founders Matt and John. And then next week we've got our top 10 on Tuesday. We'll be back next Thursday for the Shakers list. As always, don't forget, we had a good time. Peace.
Hey, yo.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.